as with much of the rest of the day, we've got a lot to get through. So let's make a start now. As with this morning, we've decided to split the panel of 4 so that we'll be doing 2 and 2. And the whole session is called Old Challenge, New Focus, catalysing and contributing to results. So, you know, slightly whatever, working the language a bit, the old and new thing, but from a different angle. And overall, the objective of the session is to examine approaches to addressing how you use aid to strengthen, to support service delivery more effectively, to get better outcomes from in-country services. And there are 3 kind of core approaches that we'll be focusing on. One is what they've termed the traditional aid effectiveness agenda, including use of country systems. Susan will be speaking to the USAID experience with that, which maybe isn't entirely the traditional agenda, but it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And delighted to have that presentation, I think, because it's well-trodden ground to have the way that you're thinking about this in relation to AID at the moment. Be really, really interesting. The second theme is results-based or cash-on-delivery approaches to aid. And we're delighted to have Liz Ditchburn with us from DFID, who's going to be fairly directly addressing approaches to that within DFID. And the third element is approaches that seek to put addressing governance challenges in the heart of the design of aid and development approaches. That's going to be more the second 2 speakers than the first 2. But I'll just come back quickly now to a very brief introduction to our 2 speakers. I think their job titles tell you pretty well what you need to know. Susan Reichle is Assistant Administrator of USAID, if I remember right, working with the policy and planning section of AID. And Liz Ditchburn is DFID's Director of Value for Money. And when I was in DFID many years ago, I recall that Liz was in fact in the livelihoods group, so with a strong background in terms of looking at delivery at the country level from throughout her career in DFID as well. But let's start anyway. I don't want to spend too long on the introductions and leave as much time as possible for discussion. So, Susan.